Good evening, welcome to the Buck Stops here. I'm Vishnu Shom. On the program tonight, a historic summit between India and Israel. The relationship now moves to the level of close strategic partners. The equation between Prime Ministers Modi and Netanyahu, therefore, all to see. At 10:30, we hope to cut live to a meeting between the Prime Minister and the Indian diaspora in Israel. So what is new and different in the India-Israel relationship? We'll be looking at that over the next half an hour or so. We will also be discussing the senseless violence in West Bengal. The war of words between Mamta Banerjee and the governor is not really what it's all about. In fact, the focus needs to be much more on the deep communal fault lines in a state where communal clashes or political violence seems to be a defining feature, particularly over the last year. Why is this all happening? That's what we'll be looking at very closely on this program as well.
At the entry of Bushirhat town, this, and absolute quiet. No one to tell me when this motorcycle was set on fire over here. Probably last night.
The arrival of the Central Forces today managed to prevent large clashes like those 2 days ago. 4 companies of the BSF, about 400 men, are currently patrolling 5 affected police stations here. But attacks continue. Vehicles were burnt. And mobs of mainly Muslim young men out on the streets blocked roads with huge trees and even hurled bombs. The provocation, a Facebook post allegedly against Prophet Muhammad by a 17-year-old Hindu boy. The Bashirat violence is the latest in a series of communal incidents in West Bengal. Before this, there have been at least 5 since October last. In all these clashes, the situation had suddenly flared up. Mobs had taken over, attacking the police, country bombs had been used, and public property damaged. For instance, Trinamool is already asking why a 17-year-old student of class 11 put up the offensive post, which led to violent protests. Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee has said the matter will be investigated, but already blamed the BJP and fringe groups for the violence.
এটা বিজেপির একটা মডার্ন ডিজাইন হয়ে গেছে, ট্রেন্ড হয়ে গেছে। এই ট্রেন্ডটা সম্বন্ধে মানুষকে আমরা সতর্ক থাকতে বলছি এই কারণে যে দেখুন, একটা ঘর আগুন নেভানো খুব শক্ত, কিন্তু আগুন লাগিয়ে দেওয়া খুব সহজ। আগুন লাগিয়ে দেওয়ার জন্য একটা দেশলাই যথেষ্ট, কিন্তু আমরা তো নিশ্চয়ই আমাদের ঘর সামলাবো।
The BJP says the situation is a fallout of Mamta's appeasement of the Muslim community.
After incidents are happening where the Hindus are feeling threatened, their life is insecure in West Bengal.
The Bengal governor's office also responded to attacks by Mamta and her ruling party, saying the government needs no lessons from anyone. And the allegations of the chief minister amounts to insulting and humiliating the governor. Political observers say Mamta has alienated sections of Hindus and has lately tried to change the optics. Though she attended iftar functions, she made it a point to also push the Rath of Lord Jagannath at festivities this week in Kolkata. Far away from the politics though, the residents of Basirhat asked how the peace here was shattered and where was the state administration.
अगरचे और पहले फोर्स आते तो इतना कम हो जाते, फोर्स थोड़ा लेट हो गया। जिन लोगों ने ये काम किया है, अगर वो मुसलमान हो तो असल में मुसलमान नहीं है, अगर पक्का मुसलमान हो तो कभी भी ऐसा नहीं करेगा, अगर पक्का हिंदू हो तो भी कभी भी ऐसा नहीं करेगा।
Efforts to trace the parents of the 17-year-old boy who started it all drew a blank. They have fled their house for now. With Monideepa Banerjee in Basirhat, Soumya Menon, NDTV.
So why is West Bengal turning into this communal tinderbox? How are these attacks and counter-attacks really being fueled? Who is fueling them? Joining us now to discuss this, Moha Moitra of the Trinamool Congress and Rakesh Sinha, the RSS Vicharak. Moha, let me come to you first. In this particular instance in Basirhat, the allegation which has been made by some members of your party is that this was actually provoked by somebody, possibly from the Sangpa, possibly from the BJP, possibly from the Hindu community. Why else would a teenager, a 17-year-old, go and put something deeply offensive against the Muslim community? What proof do you have of this? Or is it a random allegation?
I obviously, I mean, ours is a large party and there are only so many spokespersons who are sort of, you know, authorized to speak on certain issues. So I can't respond to a lot of allegations that may be flying there. But what I can say is that it's extremely troubling when a 17-year-old, a teenage boy of any community puts up something on Facebook, because social media nowadays is very difficult to control what one puts on and on. And when it leads to something like this, it's very unfortunate. I mean, it's difficult to say whether it's by design or, you know, simply a teenage mind not realizing the consequences of his actions. So I don't think it would be fair to...
Do you feel it was by, do you feel that it was by design? Because leaders of the Trinamool on the ground were telling our correspondents and many other journalists that this was provoked. A 17-year-old was provoked by somebody, which is why he went and did this. So I'm asking you, what is the proof of that?
Look, I mean, there, you know, when you're talking to grassroots people on the ground, a lot of people will have a lot of different opinions. Now, obviously, without knowing for sure if that was the case, I don't think I can go on national television to say that this was by design. But what I can say on record is that there has been an atmosphere of late, as we've been seeing all over India in the last 12 to 18 months, where very communally sensitive issues have been raked up, and there's an atmosphere of heightened communal tension. So with that perspective, I think it is fair that some people would feel that any small incident, nothing is by accident, everything is by design.
So, but that's precisely
so I do see where that's coming from, but I don't know for sure if this particular incident was by design or not.
But Moa, that was precisely the allegation made by the BJP against the Trinamool Congress. And that allegation is that in this latest instance, it was the Trinamool Congress and their close association with the Muslim community that had triggered the violence over here. That's the allegation. So the BJP accuses you of the same thing.
Look, look, the BJP is welcome to say anything they like. The BJP have been lately, I think, absolutely living in Gaga land, where they seem to say throw anything out there and you know, leave it to us to defend. So I'm not even going to fall into that trap. I think what the BJP has done has behaved absolutely abominably in the face of an incident like this. I mean, it's unfortunate when something like this happens. I think it is incumbent upon all of us as citizens of this country to make sure that the violence doesn't spread. What the BJP has done in the wake of this incident has been to put up roadblocks. I mean, today BJP leadership with flags were all over the district. They set up roadblocks, they set up rail rokos, they set up rasta rokos in an atmosphere of heightened tension, where the police and the law and order situation is obviously tense, and police have been stretched to capacity in a particular district to go and have rasta rokos and rail rokos all over. Do you think it helps the situation?
Rakesh Sinha, respond to that. Irrespective of who may or may not have caused this particular instance, how does it help law and order if you've got members of the BJP taking advantage of the situation, some would say, coming with banners, leaders arriving when the police and the BSF was also called in over here, are trying to control a situation?
Vishnu, I have some objection to your question itself. A few days ago, we have seen the large number of so-called intellectuals, liberal left intellectuals, came out in the street blaming Narendra Modi government, Hindutva ideology and RSS for certain unfortunate, condemnable, highly condemnable incidents. Nobody owned that incident. Everybody condemned that incident, but the entire intellectual class projected those incidents as a Majoritarian rule, and Indian Muslims are in threat. They can't live in India. This was the intellectual narrative. At the same time, here you are questioning that BJP people are taking advantage. No advantage. It is a perpetuation of the Mamata Banerjee's highly ultra-communal politics. She has transformed West Bengal in a laboratory of the jihadis. I am giving you two examples. 11-year-old girl was raped in Ramna village in Murshidabad. Nobody was arrested because those rapists known to the police belong to a particular community. I don't want to make a polarization on the basis of that. I still consider that this is a job of the certain people who are communal, but not the entire community. There should not be polarization. I still believe that there should not be any polarization. But I am forced to say, because your question is like that, that is a question itself was discriminatory. Secondly,
how is the question
in 24 Pargana village,
Osmana Mohalla. Rakesh ji, you explain to
me. Let me complete, Vishnu.
How is it discriminatory? Because if you look at my first question, I raised the allegation that members of the BJP are raising about the Trinamool Congress being communal. I have therefore asked you the same question which they are asking. So how am I being discriminatory?
Vishnu, I'm not. No, I am not questioning your integrity. I am just saying that it is you are just the same intellectual narrative which we have seen for the last few days. You are putting the same narrative here. So I am not questioning your integrity. I know that you are very objective and impartial. That I have no doubt in that. But here I am giving to another fact. Okay. A 15-year-old scheduled caste girl was raped. Nobody was arrested. Nobody was arrested. And I am coming to the communal politics of Mamata Banerjee. Look, Bengal is being ruled by, there is in Bengal rule of diarchy. There are two rulers. One is Mamata, other is Barkati. So it is not Mamata Banerjee, it is Mamata Barkati is rule in Bengal. And giving example, the Minority Affairs Ministry's budget is 2,815 crore rupees. And small scale industries, large scale industries, IT industry and tourism industry together have the budget of 2,115 crore rupees. यानी कि 2815 करोड़ रुपए का बजट तो है माइनॉरिटी अफेयर्स मिनिस्ट्री का और 2154 करोड़ रुपए का बजट है किसके लिए? ये चार डिपार्टमेंट्स को मिलाकर. I am giving another example.
So you are accusing them of minority appeasement.
You
are accusing them of minority appeasement, right? So let Moitra reply.
Let me give one more example. Let me give
last example and then I'll get Moa to reply. Yes.
Let me give one example. Then see. Nijo Graha, Nijo Bhumi, there is a scheme of the Mamata Banerjee government that give land to homeless people, construct houses for the homeless people. What the Calcutta municipality is doing, Kolkata municipality is doing, what the West Bengal government is doing, they have been making 5,000 houses by municipality and 50,000 houses by the West Bengal government for the imams of West Bengal. This is the West Bengal. Hindus have this minority psychology.
Okay. All right, Rakesh ji, you made lots of points. Moa, you've got lots of points to reply. Basically, Rakesh Sinha saying that you pander to the Muslim community, it's done deliberately, and therefore the Trinamool Congress in many of its policies is entirely communal. That's the allegation. Please respond.
Can I remind the honourable spokesperson of the BJP that we've been elected with an overwhelming mandate in an election just a year ago where we won up 220 seats out of 294. Now I don't think we won that only on the basis of a 30% Muslim electorate. So I think he's got his numbers wrong. The second thing, sir, may I remind you that when you're talking about numbers and what the budget of our Minority Affairs Department is, can I point out to you that your government, sir, the BJP government at the center, has a budget of 200 crores annually for Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, where for that same program in 10 times the size, the form and the execution, we have 1,800 crores per year, sir. So please don't tell us about the efficacy of what programs we need to take on and what we execute on the ground. Please look at your own book first. The third thing is, I think your research department in West Bengal, whenever any national BJP spokesperson comes on, because I don't think they've got any people in Bengal to come on air, what they do is they call up the BJP people in Bengal to give them research. So as a result of which you land up with research like ex-girl raped in Y village and, you know, ex-Dalit or ex-SC/ST woman raped in Y village. I think these are completely not backed up, and I'm not going to waste my time defending them, Vishnu, on national television. What I will say to you is this is the narrative and this is rhetoric that we've heard from the BJP continuously. I think what I would like to tell you is, I think on the back of what's happening nationally with the Gaurakshaks and people being lynched in states ruled by the BJP and outside of it, and no action being taken, I think
Moa, just one final question to you, because I need to wrap this up. If you look at the incidents, Moa, you know, you've made lots of points, but the larger issue, January 2017, there was this Nabi Divas versus Saraswati Puja. April 2017, there was 150 rallies by members of various outfits backed by VHP, RSS, BJP. There was Kaliachak in January 2016, a protest rally attended by Muslims allegedly turned violent over there. There was Dhulagar in December 2016. There was Hazinagar in October 2016. And now there is this instance. Irrespective of who caused what, and we'll never know, unfortunately, exactly how it played out on the ground, how can you deny that West Bengal has become a communal tinderbox?
I think it is extremely unfortunate that I think when you put this, when you've just listed out 5 incidents, and I would like to ask you to look at each of these incidents separately, and every single one of them have been instigated by the BJP's actions in Bengal. The BJP in the last year have realized that the only way they can come into any kind of sort of state narrative in Bengal is to play the communal card. They've realized they sort of had this whole Mamta Bhagao, Desh Bachao Andolan before 2016. They found they got nowhere with that, and after the assembly elections they have decided that the only way that they're going to be anywhere on the picture in Bengal is to make sure that they keep sort of cooking up something like this. And that each and every one of these incidents, we've been on the ground, believe me Vishnu, each of these incidents were provoked by the BJP, every single one of them.
Rakesh Sinha, 30 seconds reply to that. I need to end this debate, move on to the Prime Minister in Israel. Reply to that. The BJP triggers each of these incidents. That's what he said.
If BJP provoked the communal violence, how many BJP workers you have arrested? How many BJP workers you have arrested? You arrest the BJP workers if they are provoking. But my point is that you have not answered any question raised by either Vishnu or me. One question I am raising here, and I am ending my narrative, that in West Bengal, the communalists are being protected, patronized by Mamta Banerjee just for the vote bank politics. She is the kingpin of communal politics, and she has, I think, resurrected the politics of Sohrawardi. And there in West Bengal, this is not a normal condition. There is a mini direct action. Jinnah has taken the direct action on 16th August 1946. Now, Mamta Banerjee is promoting, patronizing, and encouraging the mini direct actions in many parts of the Bengal, and Hindus are being threatened by the Muslim communalists. We should not divide the society on the basis of religion. We should unite the society, and Mamta Banerjee should at least do self-introspection.
Well, I think what she has done, and I hope the BJP would actually also encourage that, is that she has asked for people to get together in areas where this communal tension is happening, in peace marches, peace gatherings, and ensure that these immediate situation can be resolved. I'd like to thank both of you for joining us. Mo, I'm sorry I'm completely out of time.